Are you aware that nearly 2/3 of companies worldwide experience disruption of their core business today? This is what more than 3,000 CEOs said in a global survey earlier this year. That is a huge wake-up call. It means that sticking to business as usual gives away our future. But this isn't just about business. It's about all of us. Will our skills still matter in 5 years? What are wise career decisions for our kids? How will we live, work, and connect in a world where our digital lives merge with our real ones, and where AI pushes the boundaries what it means to be human? The use of AI can change the structure of our brains, and can it also make us immortal? 2 months ago, at an AI conference in Berlin, I saw a woman on stage. She presented the digital twin of her husband, who had recently died of cancer. Some of you might think that this is creepy. It crosses a line that you are no longer comfortable with. And I understand that. Thinking of that afternoon still gives me goosebumps too. But it is a very good example showing that what we know from science fiction movies like Transcendence or Her is now becoming a reality. So how did we even land here? Just 5 years ago, the world looked very different. But now we have reached a point where we start realizing that we are experiencing the most profound transformation since the Industrial Revolution. The acceleration of technology, geopolitical fractures, resulting in global economic power shifts, social transformation, more and more environmental problems, all happening at the same time. But these dynamics, they do not happen in isolation. They feed and accelerate each other, turning our world into a gigantic global flywheel that once set in motion, it spins faster and faster. And this makes it really difficult to predict how our world will look like in 5 years from now. So how does this make us feel? I certainly have my moments when this makes me feel really uneasy. And perhaps you feel that too. And when we are afraid, we typically choose one of 3 paths. We feel the urge to run away, but there is nowhere to run. We want to push the pause button, waiting for more clarity, waiting for things to settle. But also that is not going to happen anytime soon. So the third option is to step up, to take on the challenge, and to accept that uncertainty is not our enemy here. Nassim Taleb compares our ability to thrive in chaos with muscle training. When we lift weights, we damage our muscle fibers slightly. And this is actually what makes them grow. This is a beautiful metaphor for the opportunity to turn stress, shock, chaos into opportunity. So he calls it becoming anti-fragile. And this goes way beyond the resilience we are all talking about. It means that in challenging times, we need to experiment. We will fail, we will get hurt, but we stand up again, we iterate, and we learn fast. This concept of anti-fragility has always deeply resonated with me. When I was younger, I was different than other kids. I didn't fit in, and I had to learn to find my place. And this basically shaped my whole career, even though my talent pointed towards a creative direction. I chose a corporate job, and that turned out to be the perfect environment to push the boundaries and to turn creative imagination into hands-on impact. And this is what led me to innovation already 17 years ago, when innovation management wasn't even a job description. And today it means to turn uncertainty into opportunity. So my first aha moment when looking for a method or a practical compass was about 2 years ago, when a group of healthcare leaders asked me to explore radical, revolutionary concepts in the healthcare space. I thought, wow, finally, a group of people who really wants to push the boundaries. But as usual, small budget, really challenging timing, and huge expectations. So that was basically the first time when I realized we had way more uncertainties than trends, making traditional scenario planning extremely difficult, impossible even, very complex, very time-consuming. So I had to learn that the methods that I was used to did not work so well anymore. So what now? Okay, I decided to be pragmatic. So I thought, how hard can it be to develop my own simple, practical foresight model that delivers the results we needed within the given time frame? So we started to map what we knew for sure and what was uncertain. But instead of mapping those complex scenarios, we focused on just two extremes. And this is how those two healthcare scenarios turned out. That is the apocalypse, a dark future where the public healthcare system has collapsed. Big tech is cutting in, offering cheap, highly digitized self-services. Of course, all in exchange for personal data. Sophisticated treatments, yes, of course, but only for those who can pay. A society where solidarity is going down and corruption is on the rise. That is clearly not a future we want. So let's have a look at the other extreme. Utopia, a bright future with ethical digitization as the backbone of the system. Public digital healthcare services. Data used intelligently, but owned by individuals. And a strong focus on education, self-responsibility, and prevention to keep an aging population healthy. Yeah, I think that is a future we do want. And these two scenarios help us to answer the only two questions that matter. What do we want to avoid, and what do we need to leverage? And this led us very seamlessly to the three major drivers of a desired future in healthcare. So a strong shift towards self-responsibility and prevention. And that is, by the way, an area where most countries still invest less than 10% of their healthcare budgets. Smart use of data to advance treatments quickly, but making sure that individuals truly own their data. And finally, the digital backbone by AI-driven services, advancing everything. But what's next? Of course, experimenting, iterating within these three areas. For a strong learning curve, building this anti-fragile muscle with plenty of radical solutions along the way. To conclude, I have an invitation for you. We all have the power to shape our future we want. This simple model that I've shown, it works everywhere. No special skills required. Doing nothing is the worst of all choices, because the truth is simple. Either we shape our future, or we have to live with the decisions taken by others. And this isn't just about the big business decisions. There are small things that you can do in your personal lives, such as finding a healthy social media routine, investing in your relationships, learning something new. So, what is your next steps towards a future you want? Think of one thing that you can do starting today, one first step. Because the future lies in our hands. Thank you.